Broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Here's your host, Andrew Romanella.
Okay? Like, just get the hell out of here. Nobody cares what you think if you're not a Mets fan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to a Tuesday edition of The Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, and Facebook. I am your host, Andrew Romanella, and I am super excited for our Tuesday show today. Not only do we get to break down the sports equinox last night, including the longest World Series game in the history of Major League Baseball, or at least tied for the longest at 18 innings, a Monday Night Football slaughtering by the Kansas City Chiefs, and some National Hockey League and NBA as some players hit career highs on the hardwood yesterday. But that's not why Tuesday's show is exciting, because there's a one and an only Rocky Romanella joining us today to break down the National Hockey League, give us his thoughts on the New York Football Giants, and so much more. You can get in on the action, youtube.com/the Romanellas. That's youtube.com/the Romanella. Super simple. Head there, hit subscribe, get all of our content. This is merely half of the content that exists on the YouTube channel of the Romanella family. Go over there, hit subscribe, do your thing. The Rome Show 1 on Twitter, X, and Instagram. That's the Rome Show. Then the number 1, the OG social media site, Facebook. That's just the Rome Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Here's what it looked like last night in the 18th inning when Freddie Freeman won the game for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Freeman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the catch strikes midnight. Freddie Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
Here are some statistics on this game for you. 18 innings, 6 hours and 39 minutes. If you're wondering, when you went to sleep last night, if you did what I did, which was you watched the game through, you got to like the 9th inning where it was tied 5-5, and then you woke up in like the 13th, and you're like, oh, wow, we're still in extras here. And then, I don't know about you, but I woke up again at about 3 o'clock in the morning to find that the game had just ended. This thing went so late. Got to remember, it was in California, and tonight they play again. So that game ended past midnight in California, and now you got to turn around tonight and play again. 130 at-bats, 19 pitchers, 5 homers, 4 Shohei Ohtani walks. I love that. Clayton Kershaw appeared in the 12th inning, bases loaded, 2 outs. Could potentially be the last appearance of his career. And he did absolutely what he needed to do for the Dodgers, competed in an at-bat, got a rollover ground ball, and as the rest is history, because Freddie Freeman is the most clutch player in Major League Baseball. Here's his manager, Dave Roberts, talking about it.
Tell me what this means to you and this team, what Freddie means.
He's the glue of our ball club. I think that every team needs a captain, a glue guy, a leader, a guy who does it the right way, and everyone can follow suit. And, he's not swinging the bat as good as he always has. But you know what? 8, 9, 10 at bats. He still kind of sticks his nose in there, used a big part of the field, and took a lot of good swings tonight. And, we thought last year was the biggest swing in Dodgers history with Gibby. And, he's pretty much topped that one, too.
6th walk-off in Dodgers franchise history. 4th walk-off since the Dodgers moved to LA. Hey, I just want to be the person that lets you know if there have been 4 walk-offs since the Los Angeles Dodgers have been the Los Angeles Dodgers, 2 of them are Freddie Freeman in the World Series in the last 2 seasons. Freddie Freeman is that dude, and they got the Mookie Betts, and they got the Teoscar Hernandez, and they got the Blake Snell, and they got the dudes that are names we know that are superstars. But when it comes down to it, their manager says it, you can see it, and he shows up in the biggest moments. Freddie Freeman, in the last 5 years, is arguably the most important signing to that Dodgers clubhouse. Their manager just said it. Now, it's not about how good he is, though he is that good, though he is that clutch. It's about the fact that he's the glue guy. He's the leader guy. He sets the tone guy. Every clubhouse needs that guy. Every clubhouse needs a player. And boy, is it better when it can be your best player. Man. I mean, there's a lot of clubhouses that have the not best player that's a really good clubhouse guy, really good teammate. That makes sense. That's their only role. But when your best player, your most clutch player, the dude that you need to show up every single night, not only does that, but after the most important game to date, the longest game in history tied for to date, after all of that, you're sitting on a interview with Alex Rodriguez after in the post game, and the only thing you want to talk about is how great of a teammate he is, what he does for your locker room. That's why the Dodgers are so good. That's why Freddie Freeman shows up in the big moments. That's why this is the best team in Major League Baseball for the last 5 years. Maybe for longer, but at least they've won World Series in that 5-year span. Kudos to Freddie Freeman. Kudos to Dave Roberts, because I think in some ways managing a ball club of all superstars could be as hard, if not harder, than managing a clubhouse of the Milwaukee Brewers. You got guys that are a bunch of piss and vinegar, and they just want to go out there and show that they're good enough and play in Major League Baseball. Sometimes that's the easiest team to motivate and coach. You got the dudes making $300s and $400s of $1 million. You saw that one, Savage versus Ohtani at bat clicker. Ohtani made $40,000 in one at bat, while Trey Savage made $500. Something along those lines. It is easier sometimes to coach that team. Now, I'm not about to sit here and say Dave Roberts made Mookie Betts, Teoscar, Will Smith. No, that's not what we're saying here. But there has to be a management of those players, a management of those egos that Dave Roberts is doing an excellent job of. And Freddie Freeman, as we just heard from his manager, is a number one dude in that clubhouse to make the Dodgers go. When you're watching some football on a Monday and the Chiefs are on the field, that same guy is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. And I know that the Commanders last night on Monday Night Football were hamstrung by Jaden Daniels not being under center and Marcus Mariota being under center. But when Patrick Mahomes has 2 turnovers on his docket and you beat a team by 21, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Travis Kelce, 6 receptions, 99 yards, 1 TD. Rashee Rice, 9 receptions, 93 yards, 1 TD. And this was said at the beginning of the year. And no one wanted to believe it because no one wanted to believe it. But with Rashee Rice out, Xavier Worthy having been dealing with injuries early, and no one else outside of Travis Kelce on the roster, it makes sense that this was a slow build for this Chiefs offense to start getting to the place where they need to be. Now, I don't think that they're there yet, okay? Though I like The fact that they're spreading the football around, they're able to run the rock. I think they ran for 148 yards last night. Okay. Patrick Mahomes turned the ball over twice, has been playing really good football. That's playing the quarterback position. It's going to happen. But at the end of the day, 28-7, outscoring the Commanders 21-0 in the second half was exactly what the Kansas City Chiefs needed to do. Now, they improved to 5-3, and the Commanders, they dropped to 3-5. Let's take a look at the playoff standings real quick. And then on the back end of our first commercial break, we'll bring Rocky in because I know he has some thoughts on the New York Football Giants before we get off of football and we get to the National Hockey League. That victory for the Chiefs officially puts them in the 7th spot, which is the final wild card here in the postseason of the National Football League. And they are a game ahead of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here is your current standings breakdown. This is wild. I feel like we're back in 2005 and Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are duking it out with which of those two teams is going to be the representative of the AFC in the Super Bowl. The Colts are 7-1. The Patriots are 6-2. The Broncos 6-2. The Steelers 4-3. The Bills 5-2. The Chargers 5-3. The Chiefs 5-3. The Jags 4-3. 8 teams. Okay. 500, above 500 in that playoff race in the AFC. And then truthfully, though 3-5 and 3-4 for the Bengals and the Houston Texans is not exciting. If you're looking at the last playoff spots 5-3, you're only 2 games out. No, I don't think the Dolphins make a run. I don't even think the Ravens make a run at 2-5, even if they get Lamar back. But you're only 3 games out. I think we get caught up in the National Football League in what the record looks like. Yeah, you're 3 games under 500, and there's only 10 games remaining. And it's kind of like that we are who we thought they were scenario, but it also doesn't mean that you can't be the St. Louis Blues in the National Hockey League. You know? It also doesn't mean you can't be the Indiana Pacers from last year in the NBA. You know? I mean, there is games to be made up. There's still football to be played. And when you look at it in the AFC, what the Chiefs did for themselves last night is they just kept themselves in the thick of it. And then over the next 10 weeks, they need to reach their peak. That's exactly all they're trying to do. I'm not saying the regular season doesn't matter. I'm just saying they're using the regular season just to get to where they need to get to, which is the postseason and AKA in that building, the regular season. So the Chiefs beat the Commanders last night, 28-7. On the flip side, with the Eagles playing better, though the Cowboys lost, they're 3-4-1, better than the Commanders. And the rest of the NFC stacked up. I think that this Jaden Daniels injury could cost the Commanders a whole lot more than they thought. They're sitting in 13th right now because spots 1 through 9 in the NFC are filled with teams that are 500 or better. Quick commercial break, 30 seconds. We come back and we have hockey with Rocky. Oh, yeah. Get your goal horn ready, people. We're about to snipe some biscuits, talk about sports, and do some other things. The Rome Show, back in 30. Stay with us.
What is one thing every great leader has in common? They challenge their people to not stop at the first right answer. Tighten the Lug Nuts is a leadership book that will teach you how to move past the first right answer with entertaining and detailed examples founded in real-world concepts and experiences. Accelerate towards your professional goals with Tighten the Lug Nuts, one of the best leadership books available.
Now, inside the glass. Hockey with Rocky.
Oh, we got gifs of goals because we are lighting the lamp this morning. Welcome back. What's up, people?
How fire is the little clip I put together for you? So I wanted to do this a little bit better, but you know, this is how technology works. So people, here's my thought process. This is what it's going to look like. Oh, it didn't play. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Right?
Tony D'Angelo.
Inside the glass.
Snipey there from Austin
Hockey
Matthews.
with Rocky.
Let's go.
All right, so
I
I'm
mean,
just shorting
listen.
it, but we were working hard the last few days on getting you, and I'm not going to lie to you, Rocky. You're going to appreciate this. I did a deep dive in trying to find you playing hockey.
There's no chance you can find me scoring a goal. Zero chances.
Or at least
not available.
Fighting someone, or maybe celebrating with the boys, but I couldn't find anything. I was like, maybe I'll go get like a generic Delaware hockey clip, but I was like, let's start with the NHL clips I have, and then we'll roll from there. How we doing on this Tuesday?
Oh, we're doing great. We're doing great, man. A lot of excitement in the NHL. A lot of excitement in the NFL. Like I liked what you were saying there, and I will make one statement on the team comments you were talking about the Dodgers.
Okay, give it to us.
Let's look no further than 6-time right field Gold Glover Mookie Betts up for a shortstop Gold Glove.
That's a great point, man. Listen,
that
it doesn't matter how good your talent level is. If the dudes aren't committed to the sweater and they're not committed to the team culture, you can't win anything. It's just like, and I think that's what's being lost, Rocky, in this Los Angeles Dodgers spend all this money to get all these great players thing. It's like, okay, well, look at the Mets. They're still at home. Look at the Yankees. They're still at home. Right. It doesn't mean that you're going to win. There's a commitment level inside of that building that has to happen, Rock. And when I listened to Dave Roberts last night talk about Freddie Freeman, it hit me like we're all looking at this thing the wrong way. We should be looking at it as this is fun to watch. Look how committed these elite athletes are to winning.
I know, championship caliber versus playoff caliber. You all watched the Chiefs video. Said, "Oh, that's too much. It's too much. Championship or bust." Now they're 5-3, and everyone's like, "Oh no, they're good again."
Let's stay on the gridiron really quickly before we freeze the ice. I want to get your take on the New York Giants because last night in the Monday Night Special show, if you missed it, the Rome Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast, we talked about the Cam Scadaboo ankle injury, and for me, Rocky,
very sad.
It was. Yeah, and it was less about the Giants, more about the Cam Scadaboo, because it's just merely exciting that him and Jackson Dart exist on this roster. And we knew, Rock, they probably weren't winning a Super Bowl or making the playoffs this year.
No,
so
and if he was going to get hurt, it was going to be his head.
I thought that same thing. Right, not the ankle or the leg or anything else.
No, I think it's up. It's what the tough part is for Scadaboo is that no one came in expecting these guys to take the Giants to the Super Bowl. So you get an 18-game season of zero expectation football play. You learn how to play. You make some mistakes. You learn how to win. You learn how not to lose. And you come into year 2 with like this level of tenure that really gets your franchise in a spot that says, hey, we drafted the right guys. We've got the right core. Like, let's go win now. And now he loses that experience, number one, but number two, like it's such a detrimental injury. Like, are you going to be the same runner when you get back?
That's what scares you about the lower body injury. You just don't know, because I think in modern medicine and in 2025, everyone's like, oh, he tore his ACL. He's good. He'll be back in 4 months and he'll be the same person. It's like, no
He
injury.
won't be.
You can't.
No.
There's no guarantee. And by the way, and I think the Achilles probably comes up with this the most, but I think most primary injuries on the leg that are serious, like what Scadaboo is going through, people will tell you it's not the first year that you're actually fully back and healthy where you feel like yourself again. It's usually that second year. So you're talking about his
was
third
going the
season.
wrong way.
Right. So you're talking about him probably feeling fully like himself again halfway through the earliest next year. That's a dramatic change to what the Giants fan was feeling just 5-6 days ago.
No, absolutely. But you can't listen. As a Giant, you can't deny. Listen, you went into Philly. You knew it was going to be a tough game. I mean, before the ball was even snapped, this was not going to be. You are not favored to win this game. And then like I think I said to you, I was like, dude, you saw the Eagles wearing those old school greens, and you're like, damn, this is not good. They've got the eagle on their helmet. It's silver. This is bad news. This doesn't look good. Saquon opens up with a 78-yard touchdown run. You're like, man, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
Then you're
what you were thinking at that moment?
Yeah. But then you're 7-7. You got to push, and you cause a fumble, and you're like, yo, we're battling.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then,
you don't get the tush push.
yeah.
And they
And
score 14 points. And you're just like, and the game changed. The game completely changed at that moment. But you got to love what you see. There's no one. Here's what I love about the loss. Two things happened in Philadelphia on Sunday. One, there is no longer a supporter of the tush push in the world. No longer a supporter. I was in the camp that said, hey, beat them. Listen, I never cared, didn't care. They figured it out. Great way to get a yard. What do I care? Right? We beat it. And you can't deny that.
yeah,
There's not a human being in the world that can't explain to you that that wasn't a fumble.
that's not in Philadelphia, Kelly Green.
By the way, even those guys are in the locker room like, yo, dude, we got away with one.
We got
Like,
yeah, wow, ooh, man.
well, I'm not gonna say it publicly, but like
Yeah.
we're not dumb.
Yeah,
Like you
right.
know when you get away with one.
Yeah.
Like, right. So that's number. The second thing that happened is there's not people who left the field that didn't say Jackson Dart is the real deal.
Yeah, I agree. Even the week before when the Giants were collapsing in Denver, even that week when he threw 4 interceptions in New Orleans, something has shown up every week that's telling you this dude's our guy.
He's going to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
You've got to build a team around him. So, when you look at the Giants, you can't listen. If you have unnecessary expectations based on what was going into the season, it's your fault for being miserable. Now, no one else's.
That's a great point out of you. 26 seconds. We take another commercial break. We come back. Rocky talks all about the National Hockey League here on the Rome Show on a Tuesday. Stay with us. Back after this.
It's the Rome Show!
Welcome back into the Rome Show. Quick 35-second commercial break to remind the people that they can sponsor the Rome Show, much like Tighten the Lug Nuts did in our first commercial break. Reach out to us. The Romanella's on YouTube, The Rome Show 1 on Twitter, X, Instagram, The Rome Show, OG, Facebook, all the places. Gmail, The Rome Show 1 at gmail.com. So easy. Get in on the action, support the show. We can have some more fun on here like we're having with our weekly guest, that is Rocky Romanella. Rocky, it is now time for us to get a little bit on the ice here. Where would you like to start? Because we know we finished rock solid, rock soft.
The Atlantic Division is
Ooh.
upside down.
Okay.
The Lightning, the Leafs, the Bruins. That's not your 1, 2, 3.
No, it is
That
not.
is your 7, 8, or 6, 7, 8. They are at the bottom. We are looking at the youthful Martin St. Louis-led Montreal Canadiens.
That's great.
The Les Habitants Canadiens at the top of the Atlantic Division. Lane Hudson, Cole Caulfield, young talent coming to fruition. Detroit Red Wings, talked about them last week. Ottawa, sans Brady Tkachuk,
Yeah.
finds themselves still winning games. They're still on their ride from last season. And then you see the Florida Panthers,
Yeah.
the injury-laden Florida Panthers. So gotta love what we're seeing from the Atlantic Division. Bit of a shakeup there. And also, no, not much of a shakeup, but we talked about the Willie Mammoths. But really, like, the Atlantic Division is really the one that's kind of going through a big power shift right now.
Rocky, yesterday I gave the Willie Mammoths one of my weekends best, weekends worse. And the reason why is because they had won 7 straight. But it was less about that and more about how good they're playing. Like in general, they've only given up 24 goals in their 10 games this season. I feel like that's the place to start, even with the Devils too, but like with them, that's the place to start. They don't give up many opportunities the other way.
To me, the story across the NHL is young, youthful talent. And whether it's youthful from we haven't won much lately, or it's youthful from an absolute talent standpoint, it is youth dominating the NHL. Montreal Canadiens, youthful. Ottawa Senators, youthful in winning, right? New Jersey Devils, their youth really coming into like their 3, 4, 5, 6 year plan, right? Carolina Hurricanes standard, but Pittsburgh Penguins, youthful coaching staff
Yeah.
mixed with veteran presence, winning, right? Utah Willie Mammoth, winning, youthful, right? You've got the Seattle Kraken, youthful and winning, right? You've got Schaefer in Long Island scoring goals. You've got all these young guys, young talent. It's like you can start seeing the shift in generational talent really taking over the league, and it's really cool to see. It's going to be interesting to see as we get into the mid-season, is the veteranship going to show up and start outweighing the youth, which it typically does.
Which is so funny that you're talking about this because, one, unbeknownst to you, last night I said something very similar about the National Hockey League right now in urging people to continue to watch the sport. But you talk about the youthful movement. You say all of that, and still 2 of the top 5 players in terms of points leaders for skaters are Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby. Is that not mind-blowing, Rock? Is that
First-time head coach?
Insanely impressive?
First-time head coach, right? First-time head coach with superstars literally at the end of their career. I mean, Crosby's been in the league for 20 years.
1,700 points. Like, that's ridiculous.
20 years, 1,700 points, and you're sitting there and you're like, and Mike Sullivan in New York can't get Zibanejad and Panarin to score goals. Yet you've got Dan Muse who can get Crosby and Malkin to dominate the point sheet.
Yeah.
What is it being said about how the game is being taught, how the game is being played, and is there something not only with the youthful player, but the youthful coach? Where is the game at today, and how is that translating on the ice? That's what I'm trying to pay attention to and figure out. Like, why is it working there, and why isn't it working with a proven winner as at the head coach, proven goal scorers on the ice? Where is the disconnect?
I just think there's always a changing of guard in all of these sports with all of these coaches. Like at some point in time, you know, you have to stop retreading the tires on the same people. It's like Mike Sullivan has won 2 Stanley Cups. Okay, you know what? Maybe his time in the league has come to an end because how young the movement is. You know, I think to myself, if I got like a Macklin Celebrini on my roster, like in San Jose, what's he, 19 years old? So it's like, well, does the guy that's 32 years old with a little bit more youthful juice in him, does that pump up that guy better? And then in turn, your 38, your 39, your 40-year-old veteran probably gets jolted with a little energy and youthful feeling too. You know what I'm saying?
It's a little bit of all of it. It's a little bit of all of it. It's like a different approach to the game that maybe frees up an older guy to have a little bit more time and space, a little bit more freedom to play, right? Less structure. You know, then it's also what you say. It's also the talent coming in, like raw. Like Macklin Celebrini shot the puck the other night. It was incredible. I mean, it was a catch and release that was an absolute rocket, and it took him about like 0.26 seconds to do it. It was like you couldn't even see it. That's how quick it was. Like if I'm on the Sharks and I'm a veteran, I'm Barclay Goodrow. Like I'm miserable because I hate losing and I wish I was on a Stanley Cup team again. And like the Rangers treated me, you know, terribly over the last 2 years. But like I'm also pumped because like, hey, look at what I get to be a part of.
Yeah, and I think, you know, don't look now, though they're not necessarily winning. They're playing significantly better their last 4 games. That's another place where coaching carousel has come and gone, and spurts of goodness have happened, but there's never really been a consistency. There has never been this is a 10-year, 12-year, this is who the Sharks are. This is their Sean McVay.
Not since we were kids. Not since
Correct.
we were kids. And, you know, I would want to say Joe Thornton was there.
Yeah.
But it's been a minute since the San Jose Sharks had sustained success. I think they found themselves in a final though over the last 5 to 10, I want to say, when Joe Pavelski was before he went to Dallas. But that was just I gotta look. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Uh,
Well,
that,
the San Jose Sharks, by the way, are the perfect segue for me into rock solid, rock soft. So do you have
Beautiful.
anything else you want before I
No,
segue
I
here?
was just gonna let everyone know that my advanced analytics say don't worry about the Rangers.
Okay. All
That's what
right.
I'm
I
telling
like that.
myself. Although I thought that their game versus Calgary the other night was the worst game. And on Sunday, the Giants' loss was 10 times better than the Rangers' loss. So,
Sometimes you need to hit rock bottom to get to the top, you know? Maybe it's a St. Louis Blues scenario. All right. It's a game we like to call rock solid, rock soft. Okay. Rocky Romanella here is going to get asked 4 questions. Rocky, I'm going to tell you this right now. One of them is not in hockey. Okay. We'll end with that one.
beautiful.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Speaking of the San Jose Sharks, your first rock solid, rock soft is Macklin Celebrini leads the Sharks to a Stanley Cup appearance in his career. Rock solid, rock soft.
Soft.
Really?
Yeah, it's soft. I mean, this is year 2 at Celebrini, I believe, if not it's year 2. I mean, and just look at the start comparative to like the start that we're seeing with Connor Bedard and the Blackhawks. I think so much around him has to happen that it's more likely in today's game that he goes to the Stanley Cup. He leads a team in the Stanley Cup final that's not the Sharks than it is the Sharks.
Yeah, right. Like he's going to go to Tampa Bay and somehow get to the Stanley
Yeah,
Cup.
like I don't know. Like he's gonna come up on his early contract, and if the team's not in contention, they're gonna have to go through another rebuild, and they're gonna have to move him out for prospects.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. All right, Rocky, rock soft on Celebrini taking the Sharks to a Stanley Cup during his career. By the way, head to YouTube, head to Twitter X, head to Instagram if you want to ask Rocky a rock solid, rock soft question. We are engaging beyond the National Hockey League today, so do with that what you will. Rocky, question 2. The New York Islanders are winners of 4 of their last 5. You mentioned their stud young defenseman. Are you rock solid or rock soft on this being who they are the rest of the way?
Like, will they make the playoffs, or
will they keep playing good puck, or is it the 4 straight losses they started with who they really are?
I think that they're gonna be I think they're a 500 team all year. So I'm solid on them being middle of the road, spurts of greatness, spurts of poor play. The Metropolitan Division is way too good for the Islanders.
Well, that's why I'm trying to figure out. Like, they won 4 straight. They won 4 of their last 5, whatever way you want to look at it, coming off of 3 losses in a row and 4 of their last 5. So it's like, are they Jekyll and Hyde? Is this who they are? Are they the winning version? Are they the losing version?
Extremely streaky teams are never the good version long term because there's too much bad in
variable.
The game.
Yeah.
Right? That it's just too bad. If they were to start playing a little bit more consistently at 500, where like win, lose, and it was less streaky, then I would say, all right, they might be sneaky.
Yeah. All right. So we're rock kind of soft, kind of hard on them.
Yeah, we're like they're just meh.
All right. Question number 3.
Might be a personal feeling.
That's a very fair point out of you. Nick Schmaltz. He's from the Willie Mammoth. He's currently tied atop the National Hockey League in points with 7 goals, 9 assists. Are you buying Willie Mammoth's forward Nick Schmaltz as one of the top 5 players in hockey all year this year?
I don't know if he's going to be the top 5 player in hockey all year. I mean, he's definitely good, but it's hard for you to sit there and say like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl aren't going to turn it on, right? You talked about Kucherov the other day. It's hard for me to tell you he's not going to turn it on. Panarin's going to turn it on at some point. Like I just don't see him staying top 5 all year. If he does, then he's going to be like the breakout player of the year. But it's just not going to happen.
Like this dude has played in nearly 600 games in his career. He's got 149 goals and 290 assists. Like
he's not a 40-goal guy.
I got to imagine this is what people felt like in the steroid era of baseball. Like, wait, where'd that come from? Oh, must be juicing.
No, there's always someone that comes out to a hospital. And listen, maybe he does have a breakout year. He scores 30, but he's not a 30 goal guy.
Right.
And like even if he does score 30 and it's amazing for Nick Schmaltz, it's not good enough for top 5 in the league.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, what's his name? Who scored? Was it for the Islanders 2 years ago or the Oilers 2 years ago? Where he came out of left field, and then for the last 2 years,
He plays with McDavid. He's
you know what I'm
Zach
talking.
Hyman.
There you go. That was like that year. You know, it's like, is Zach Hyman really this? He was the whole year, but that's not who he is.
He did keep scoring, and when he went down to the playoffs last year, it was a big detriment to that team.
Yes, it was. So Rocky is rock soft on Nick Schmaltz keeping up this pace. But who knows? Maybe the love for the Utah Woolly Mammoth is it. Okay, Rocky, final question. This
Not
is
hockey.
Not hockey. And it's really broad, so you can go anywhere you want with this. Are you rock solid or rock soft on Major League Baseball right now? Are you
so solid?
Are you? Okay.
I loved what I saw out of the Mariners.
So much fun.
I think the pitching has been fantastic. I think the competitiveness and the clutch hitting has been brilliant. The play on the diamond in 2 games that I've watched, I have literally seen bang, bang strike throws. I saw Cal Raleigh throw out a guy stealing. That literally could not have been a better pitch. I saw Vlad Guerrero Jr. last year pivot on a play in the
Last
hole
night.
Right? Like, unbelievable. I think that the best teams were the Final Four teams. I think that 2 years running now, your Final Four in the World Series truly put on display the changes that baseball has made for the better. I'm all in on the Blue Jays. People are getting seeds thrown in their face when they hit home runs. I just think I don't know. I don't know how you're not excited about the game itself when you watch it at this level.
I couldn't agree more. If I told you at the beginning of the year that Toronto was playing Seattle in the ALCS and it would be the most watched ALCS in 8 years, I think you would tell me I was an idiot. Like, I really do.
The buzz. Oh man, when the dude with like the longer straight hair hit the home run in Seattle in like game 5, I was watching it. Electric City. I watched Springer hit the home run to take the lead in game 7. That was Electric City. Like that series. I couldn't get enough of the series.
Enough of it. Yeah.
It was great. And I mean I've had
Toronto versus Seattle. It wasn't even like Boston versus LA. That's what's wild to me.
No. And I think the talent is really getting a good like the pitching talent and like the actual talent of the players are really getting on display. You're learning a lot of future stars. Like, this was a great year for future stars in baseball, in my opinion. A lot of good names that like you never really knew about until like right now. But I don't know. For me, I'm casual, like I don't watch everyone play, but I love the product. I've had at least a couple innings on every single night this postseason.
I gotta say, that was a goal scoring performance out of you today. Goal scoring. Light the lamp, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what Rocky did. That's exactly what Rocky did on this Tuesday. Final thought before you get out of here.
NASCAR has its final race of the season. The championship 4 is set. You've got 2 racers from Hendricks Motorsports and Kyle Larson, and winner from Martinsville, William Byron. And you've got 2 from Joe Gibbs, Chase Briscoe, who not many expected to be in the Final Four.
Yeah.
And the championship knot, Denny Hamlin. Will this finally be the time? Now, I cheer for Byron. I cheer for Byron because I think it's awesome that he was a sim racer and he's like in NASCAR.
And he's good too.
I have been saying, by the way, I predicted 3 of the 4 before the playoffs started. Just so you know.
I was waiting for you to finish to give you your props, but you're 100%.
Dude,
I
can't believe it.
Yeah, that was
Byron won on Sunday, and I was like, oh my God.
And by the way, if Denny Hamlin does win the title, I believe there's a clip I have to find from like 8 weeks ago.
This is the year.
Yeah, that's the exact quote I think that you made. That's very impressive. So
dude, I know nothing about cars.
That's great. Racing. That's great. Well, hey, listen, nor did Byron. He just knew video games, and now he's in the Final Four.
Listen, you tell me what a wedge is. Don't know. Yeah. I don't know anything about carburetors. Yeah. Don't know anything about that. but I do know you
car
need good
goes real fast.
tires. Hey, need
Car
good
goes real fast.
tires. Good tires, can't run out of gas.
That's it. That's a huge aspect of it. Rocky, thank you so much for your time.
Love
you have
being
a
here.
fantastic Tuesday. We'll talk to you next week. Rocky Romanella, everybody. You grew up 10 minutes from Giants Stadium. Yeah, and you're an epic Cowboys fan.
I can't handle this too Rocky Romanella.
Yeah, we got multiple Rocky Romanellas, one on commercials, one live with us. We love it. We appreciate you, the listener. Thank you for tuning into the Rome Show here on a Tuesday. YouTube.com/the Romanellas, Twitter, X, Instagram, Facebook, all the places. Be sure to tune in. Be sure to follow. Share with a friend. Andrew Romanella, you have an electric day. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Thank you for listening.